And lastly, the rate of photosynthesis can also be investigated in aquatic plants, where we can use the following factors such as light intensity, carbon dioxide concentration, and temperature. So let's see. So investigations to determine the effects of light intensity, carbon dioxide concentration, and temperature on the rate of photosynthesis can also be used by using aquatic plants, right? Such as Elodea or pondweed. So the effect of these limiting factors on the rate of photosynthesis can be investigated in the following ways. For example, if you are, you are actually investigating what effect does light intensity have on the rate of photosynthesis. So you would change the distance of the light source from the plant, right? You are keeping the light intensity, you are keeping the lamp at one place, and then you're changing the distance of the light source from the plant. So you can actually move the light source, right? And then, so the formula is light intensity is actually inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So the more the distance, less light actually is reaching the plant, right? Carbon dioxide concentration can also be actually investigated in the same way. So if for that you add different quantities of sodium hydrogen carbonate there, sodium hydrogen carbonate actually will serve as a source of carbon dioxide gas, right? So if you want to see what effect this carbon dioxide concentration has on the rate of photosynthesis, so we can use this one. Then similarly, we can actually investigate what effect does this temperature has on that. So you could place the boiling tube containing the submerged plants in different water baths of different temperatures actually, right? So you would see that. So definitely at a certain higher temperature, the enzymes would get denatured also. So no photosynthesis can take place. So these are few that you can use. Like if you want to investigate the light intensities, you will definitely keep the other two as constant factors. So you will definitely ensure the other two remain constant. For example, when investigating the effect of light intensity, I just told you, because we need to keep the other two variables constant. So you may put a glass tank around, like you should actually place it, like the boiling tube actually should be placed in a glass tank, right? So light is directly not actually going to heat up the contents in the boiling tube, right? So this prevents the solution surrounding the plant from changing the temperature, right? So this is a method. And let's see what happens. So step number 1, you ensure that the water is well aerated before use by bubbling air through it, because right now we're actually looking at the rate of photosynthesis. So we'll be looking at the bubbles which are producing, and we are assuming these are the bubbles of oxygen gas, right? So this will ensure that oxygen gas is given off by the plant during investigation from bubbles and does not dissolve in water. So first up, we are going to well aerate the water, right? Then you ensure that the plant has been well illuminated before use. This will ensure that the plant contains all the enzymes required for photosynthesis, and that any changes of rate are due to independent variable, because again, it takes time for a plant to adjust to the light, right? So make sure it has been illuminated. Then you set up the apparatus in a darkened room, okay? So in a darkened room, and then ensure that the pondweed is submerged in sodium hydrogen carbonate solution. Okay, this ensures that pondweed has a controlled supply of carbon dioxide, right? So again, the method that you need to follow. Then you are going to cut the stem of the pondweed. Again, we are going to cut it from the top, right? So just before placing it in the boiling tube, because this is where actually we are looking at the bubbles of oxygen leaving the plant. Then you will measure the volume of gas collected in a gas syringe in a set period of time. Change the independent variable. For example, change the light intensity, carbon dioxide, or temperature, depending on which limiting factor you're investigating. Then you would repeat step number 5, right? Then you would record the results in a table. You would plot a graph of volume of oxygen produced per minute against the distance from the lamp. Okay? And the distance we are actually looking at when we are investigating the light intensity, right? Carbon dioxide and temperature. So accordingly, we are going to plot the graph, right? So this is how actually, this is the setup. And we're looking at how much oxygen is actually collected there. So again, let's watch a video seeing how actually, let's see what effect this light intensity has on the rate of photosynthesis. So let's just look at this part here, and then we'll resume. idea of how to investigate that. Then just an exam tip, learn that the 3 limiting factors and how each one can be altered in a laboratory environment. If you're investigating light intensity, make sure the distance of the light source from the plant has to be changed, and that's the formula that you use. This light intensity is inversely proportional to the square of the distance, right? The more the distance, the lesser the light intensity will actually be able to, the photosynthesis would be less. Then temperature, changing the temperature of the water bath the test tube sits in, right? And if you're using, you're trying to find what effect does carbon dioxide have, the amount of sodium hydrogen carbonate dissolved in water the pond weed is in. Also remember that the variables not being tested have to be kept constant, right? So this is the last part. ठीक है, अब थोड़ा सा बेटा रिकॉल करना, जब हमने पढ़ा था फोटोसिंथेसिस तो where was this light independent reaction taking place?
In the stroma.
The stroma, ठीक है. और do you recall बेटा वहां पे क्या हो रहा था लाइट इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेज में? जी बेटे. What was happening in Kelvin cycle?
मैम उसमें carbon dioxide was being combined with RuBP through an enzyme called Rubisco.
Good.
Which made 6 molecules.
Which
6
makes
carbon.
It made a 6 carbon compound which is unstable, and it gets broken into glycerate 3-phosphate.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है.
And 1 ATP molecule is used.
For each molecule, 1 ATP molecule.
As well as 1 NADP each molecule.
So it is actually NADP
to make GP from
glycerate 3-phosphate actually reduced to triose phosphate. ठीक है. But then बेटा उसमें ratio था कि 5th 6th of it was being recycled or 1/6 was being used for other activities. So this 5th 6th में से जो 5 molecules they are actually going back. ठीक है. And this ribulose bisphosphate is getting recycled. और जो ये आपका 1 molecule है then it can be converted into sucrose या finally beta amino acids and all. ठीक है. तो ये तो आपकी लाइट इंडिपेंडेंट रिएक्शन था जो नॉर्मल हमने पढ़ा था फोटोसिंथेसिस में. अच्छा बेटा अब सी बेटा हाउ इट इज डिफरेंट इन C4. ठीक है. सो हियर बेटा दे हैव गिवन यू, ठीक है, जस्ट अ रिकैप के लाइट इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेज ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड कंबाइंस विद राइबोलोज बिसफॉस्फेट टू फॉर्म अ 6 कार्बन कंपाउंड which is unstable and splits into 2-3 carbon molecules. ठीक है. So generally बेटा what we studied was for of C3 plants, but in certain plants such as maize and sorghum, ठीक है, we call them as C4 plants. So what happens बेटा वहां पे जो आपका first compound बनता है that is a 4 carbon molecule. ठीक है. C3 में it was a 6 carbon compound that was being made. ठीक है. But C4 plants में we make a 4 carbon molecule. ठीक है. So अभी हम डिस्कस करते हैं कि how this is made. So plants that do this are known as C4 plants. ठीक है. तो वो 6 कार्बन का बना था but then it got broken into 3 कार्बन molecules. ठीक है. 2 molecules बने थे 3 कार्बन के, तो इसीलिए हम उसे C3 बोल रहे हैं. और यहाँ पे जो हमारे पास पहला कंपाउंड बना है 4 कार्बन का मॉलिक्यूल बना है तो हम उसको C4 प्लांट बोल रहे हैं. ये चीज क्लियर हो गई है बेटे? ठीक है. अब इसका रीजन बेसिकली क्या है बेटे? These C4 plants actually have adaptations, और adaptations इनकी क्या होती है बेटे? They can actually carry on photosynthesis at high temperatures also. So around 45 डिग्री सेल्सियस के अंदर भी यहाँ पे काम हो रहा होता है. अच्छा अब जनरली ये जो एंजाइम है बेटे रुबिस्को, इसका जनरल काम क्या था जब हम राइबोलोज बिसफॉस्फेट के साथ कर रहे थे? So basically it was catalyzing the reaction of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide और राइबोलोज बिसफॉस्फेट were reacting together in the presence of Rubisco. ठीक है. But under certain conditions, but what it can do, it can catalyze the reaction of oxygen with ribulose bisphosphate. Instead of carbon dioxide, वो ऑक्सीजन का रिएक्शन करवा देगा. ठीक है. तो जब ये रिएक्शन हो जाएगा, this is known as photorespiration. ठीक है. So अब खुद सोचो बेटा, अगर राइबुलोज बिसफॉस्फेट ऑक्सीजन के साथ यूज हो गया तो इसकी तो हमारे पास कंसेंट्रेशन कम हो गई ना. एंड वी नीड दिस फॉर लाइक आपको कार्बोहाइड्रेट जो प्रोड्यूस करना है फोटोसिंथेसिस में, आपके पास यही चीज कम हो जाएगी, ठीक है, if it is reacting with oxygen. So what happens because of that, बेटा less photosynthesis will take place, ठीक है, and less ribulose bisphosphate is available to combine with carbon dioxide. ये स्टेप समझ आया बेटे?
Yes, ma'am.
जनरली क्या करते हैं रुबिस्को, इट कैटलाइजेस रिएक्शन ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड विद राइबोलोस बिस्फॉस्फेट, ठीक है, बट कुछ कंडीशंस में वो ऑक्सीजन का रिएक्शन करवा देता है. अच्छा, अब जनरली बेटा दिस हैपेंस एट हाई टेम्परेचर्स, ठीक है, एंड हाई लाइट इंटेंसिटीज, ठीक है. सो जनरली दिस इज फाउंड इन एरियाज, ठीक है, विच आर एट लो एल्टीट्यूड्स एंड ट्रॉपिकल पार्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. सो दिस हैपेंस इन दोस प्लेसेस. अब इस चीज को प्रिवेंट करने के लिए प्लांट्स ने क्या एडेप्टेशंस की, ठीक है. सो जनरली एग्जांपल्स जो हमारे पास गिवन है बेटा मेज प्लांट की और sorghum, they have evolved an adaptation to minimize photo respiration. अच्छा, अब what they do बेटा, basically they keep this ribulose bisphosphate and rubisco separated from high oxygen concentrations. अब separated कैसे रखते हैं, ठीक है, the cells that contain ribulose bisphosphate and rubisco, क्योंकि rubisco बेटा वो एंजाइम है जो बेसिकली कैटलाइज करे रिएक्शन ऑफ ribulose bisphosphate with carbon dioxide. इन दोनों को सेपरेट रख रहे हैं, ठीक है, एंड दीज सेल्स आर नोन एज बंडल शीट सेल. अब इसके आगे मैं आपको डायग्राम दिखा रही हूँ, ठीक है. सो बंडल शीट सेल्स के अंदर ये दोनों राइबोलोस बिस्फॉस्फेट और रुबिस्को आर प्रेजेंट देयर, ठीक है. सो दीज बंडल शीट सेल्स आर एक्चुअली अरेंज्ड अराउंड द वेस्कुलर बंडल. वेस्कुलर बंडल्स आपके क्या है बेटे, जाइलम फिलम, उसके अराउंड बंडल शीट सेल्स होते हैं, उसमें ये दोनों चीजें होती हैं, ठीक है. सो दीज हैव नो डायरेक्ट कॉन्टेक्ट विद द एयर. तो अब अगर एयर से कांटेक्ट नहीं होगा तो डेफिनेटली बेटा ऑक्सीजन से कांटेक्ट नहीं है, ठीक है, और हमें ऑक्सीजन से कांटेक्ट को ही प्रिवेंट करना है. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग हियर, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड is absorbed by different group of cells known as mesophyll cells. So you have an idea बेटा mesophyll cells कहाँ पर होते हैं?
Yes, ma'am. Roots में.
देखो जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये mesophyll cells हैं, ये रिंग ऑफ mesophyll cells हैं, और ये आपको बंडल शीट सेल्स दिखाएं, ठीक है, ये आपका वेस्कुलर बंडल है, ठीक है, और उसके अराउंड ये बंडल शीट सेल्स है. बंडल शीट सेल्स के अंदर आपके पास राइबोलोस बिस्फॉस्फेट और रुबिस्को होंगे, ठीक है, और इसको हमने सेपरेट रखा हुआ है यहाँ पे. मेसोफिल सेल्स विल गेट कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे इनसे सेपरेट रखा हुआ है, ठीक है, ताकि एयर से कांटेक्ट में ना हो. लेट्स गो बैक. सो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज एब्सॉर्ब बाय डिफरेंट ग्रुप ऑफ सेल्स नोन एज मेसोफिल सेल्स. मेसोफिल सेल्स आर इन डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट विद एयर. सो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड की जो सोर्स है बेटे वो यहाँ से आ रही है, ठीक है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड यहाँ से आ रही है. ओके, लेट्स सी इनसाइड द मेसोफिल सेल्स. अब बेटा बिकॉज हमें कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड की तो जरूरत है ना फिक्सेशन की, तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज कंबाइंड विद 3 कार्बन कंपाउंड नोन एज फॉस्फोफिनोल पायरोवेट, ठीक है. C3 प्लांट में क्या हो रहा था बेटा, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिएक्ट करी थी राइबोलोस बिस्फॉस्फेट के साथ, ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे राइबोलोस बिस्फॉस्फेट बंडल शीट सेल्स के अंदर है, मेसोफिल सेल्स में नहीं है, मगर अब मेसोफिल सेल्स के अंदर देयर इज अ सेपरेट 3 कार्बन कंपाउंड जिसको हम बोलते हैं फॉस्फोइनोल पायरोवेट, ठीक है. सो मेसोफिल सेल्स के अंदर here बेटे there is no ribulose bisphosphate here, there is PEP, a phosphoenol pyruvate. So carbon dioxide जब आएगा अंदर बेटे it will react with the 3 कार्बन कंपाउंड. अब एक कार्बन कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड से आ रहा है और 3 कार्बन उसी कार्बन कंपाउंड के अंदर है, तो वो बन गया 4 कार्बन कंपाउंड, ठीक है. सो दैट एक्चुअली मेक्स ऑक्सैलोएसीटेट. और हम जब C3 प्लांट की बात कर रहे थे वहां पे क्या हो रहा था बेटा, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिएक्ट कर रहा था राइबोलोस बिस्फॉस्फेट के साथ. राइबोलोस बिस्फॉस्फेट वाज अ 5 कार्बन कंपाउंड, तो वो 5 कार्बन प्लस 1 कार्बन फ्रॉम कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड तो 6 कार्बन कंपाउंड का बन रहा था. अब यहाँ पे क्या चीज है, राइबोलोस बिस्फॉस्फेट यहाँ पे ट्रैप हुआ है, ठीक है. तो एज फर्स्ट स्टेप कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इस 3 कार्बन कंपाउंड के साथ रिएक्ट करेगा विच इज फॉस्फोइनोल पायरोवेट एंड इट विल मेक ऑक्सैलोएसीटेट, ठीक है. जो 4 कार्बन कंपाउंड बनेगा हम उसको बोलते हैं ऑक्सैलोएसीटेट, ठीक है. ऑक्सैलोएसीटेट देन इज कन्वर्टेड टू अनदर 4 कार्बन कंपाउंड व्हिच इज नोन एज मैलेट, ठीक है. तो ऑक्सैलोएसीटेट भी डायरेक्ट एंटर नहीं हो सकता, पहले उस ऑक्सैलोएसीटेट को मैलेट में कन्वर्ट होना पड़ेगा, ठीक है. दैट मैलेट कैन एक्चुअली बेटा देन एंटर दिस. आर यू गेटिंग इट बेटे?
Yes, ma'am.
So oxaloacetate is converted to malate. Malate then enters the bundle sheet cells. अब bundle sheet cells में जब malate enter हुआ तो remember बेटा malate was actually a 4 carbon compound. अब क्या होगा यहाँ पे, carbon dioxide will be removed from the malate molecules, ठीक है. अब see again 4 कार्बन कंपाउंड मैलेट यहाँ एंटर हुआ, अब उसके अंदर से कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिमूव हो जाएगी, तो 4 कार्बन से अगर एक कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एक और कार्बन रिमूव हो गया तो वो दोबारा 3 कार्बन कंपाउंड में कन्वर्ट हो गया, है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, अब वो जो 3 कार्बन कंपाउंड के अंदर कन्वर्ट हो जाता है बेटे, what happens, then this carbon dioxide is removed from the malate molecules, और फिर वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो रिमूव होता है मैलेट से, it is delivered to ribulose bisphosphate which is actually trapped there. अब आइडिया हो रहा है बेटे कि किस तरह चीज हुई है? यहाँ पे कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड आया, it combines with 3 carbon compound which is phosphoenol pyruvate. 4 carbon compound bana which is known as oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate converts into another 4 carbon compound which is malate. Malate can enter these bundle sheath cells where carbon dioxide is removed from it. अब वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड नाउ इज यूज्ड विद राइबोलोज बिस्फॉस्फेट और रुबिस्को, जो दोनों चीजें यहाँ पर है, फिर आपका वही सेम लाइट इंडिपेंडेंट रिएक्शन होगा जो C3 प्लांट्स के अंदर हो रहा था। समझ आई बेटे?
Okay.
और देन थ्रू द सेम प्रोसीजर बेटे वी विल गेट द सेम, आपके पास वही कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स बन जाएंगे, ठीक है? देन दे कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर अमीनो एसिड्स एंड लिपिड्स. सो लाइट इंडिपेंडेंट रिएक्शन देन कंटिन्यूज इन द सेम वे एज इन C3 प्लांट्स. तो इसमें शुरू के जो स्टेप्स हैं दे आर अ लिटिल डिफरेंट, ठीक है? सो इनका रीजन क्या है कि दे हैव इवॉल्वड एज एन एडेप्टेशन टू ग्रोइंग इन हॉट क्लाइमेट्स. देयर एंजाइम्स जनरली हैव हाई ऑप्टिमम टेंपरेचर्स, और ऑप्टिमम टेंपरेचर पे अराउंड 45 डिग्री सेल्सियस तक, ठीक है, दे कैन एक्चुअली वो प्रॉपर फंक्शन कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज वन डायग्राम एंड दिस इज अनदर डायग्राम. उसी प्रोसेस को आप शुरू में देख लो, ठीक है? सो दीज आर बेटर, दे हैव शोन यू द मेसोफिल सेल्स. क्लोरोफिल्स आर इन द मेसोफिल सेल्स, दे एब्जॉर्ब द लाइट, ठीक है? So they absorb after they absorb the light, और carbon dioxide भी आ रही है. Carbon dioxide combines with a 3 carbon compound, ठीक है, which is phosphoenol pyruvate, converts into oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate converts into malate. Only malate can enter the bundle sheath cells where carbon dioxide is removed, and then Calvin cycle will take place and sugar can be made. Clear हो भी ये process?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, अभी हमारा चैप्टर डन हो गया. अब मैं इसकी लास्ट इसकी तुम्हें वीडियो दिखाती हूँ, फिर विल ट्राई बेटा एक क्वेश्चन हम और जरा सॉल्व करके देखते हैं इसका, ठीक है? सो दिस इज द लास्ट बिट, इसको देख लो.
Why do C3 plants, such as wheat, thrive in climates that are wet and cold, while C4 plants, such as maize, have the advantage in hotter, drier climates? Well, as mentioned in this video, Rubisco sometimes binds oxygen instead of carbon dioxide. This wasteful alternative pathway is called photorespiration. Here's a brief overview of Rubisco's actions. In the Calvin cycle, CO2 is combined with RUBP to form 2 PGAs. Upon the completion of 6 rounds of this cycle, 1 glucose molecule can be produced. Sometimes, however, Rubisco picks up oxygen instead. This results in photorespiration. The oxygen is combined with RUBP and creates only 1 PGA, as well as phosphoglycolate, a 2-carbon molecule that is toxic to plants. This is why photorespiration is sometimes called the C2 cycle. Following the creation of phosphoglycolate, the plant attempts to reduce negative consequences and is forced to use up precious ATP and NADPH that was created during the light-dependent reactions. As a result, photorespiration decreases the net CO2 converted to sugars and decreases the plant's growth rate. To minimize photorespiration, plants need to keep oxygen concentrations low in their leaves. Plants accomplish this by keeping their stomata open. Stomata are pores in the leaf epidermis that facilitate gas exchange. This is how oxygen leaves and CO2 enters. However, open stomata also result in a process called transpiration. Transpiration is the movement of water through the plant and its subsequent evaporation. Most of the water taken up by a plant's roots is lost in this fashion. Stomata are more numerous on the undersides of leaves to limit this. Transpiration isn't totally a bad thing, as evaporation of water from exposed plant surfaces results in water rising from the roots, thanks to an osmotic process called transpiration pull, allowing for mass flow of mineral nutrients coming along with the water. In a cold, wet climate, where water loss isn't much of a concern, keeping stomata open isn't a problem. Here, C3 plants thrive. However, in hotter, drier climates, where water loss through transpiration is less affordable, C4 plants have the advantage. Here, it is worth investing into an adaptation called Cran's anatomy. This adaptation, while inefficient in a cold, wet climate, allows these plants to flourish in harsher conditions. Let's compare a cross-section of a C3 and C4 plant leaf. Both have an upper and lower epidermis, as well as stomata. C3 plants have two types of mesophyll cells that carry out different functions: palisade mesophyll cells and spongy mesophyll cells. Meanwhile, C4 plants don't have this specialization. Both C3 and C4 plants have bundle sheath cells, which surround the vascular bundles. We shall focus on how the C4 anatomy counters the problem of photorespiration. Let's look at the C4 pathway, also called the HSK or Hatch-Korshak pathway. Again, this pathway takes place in C4 plants, specifically in the mesophyll and bundle sheath cells. Let's zoom in on these cells. The reactions take place within their chloroplasts. We start off in the chloroplast of the mesophyll cell with PEPA, or phosphenyl pyruvate, which is a 3-carbon molecule, CO2, and PEP carboxylase. PEP carboxylase adds the CO2 onto the PEPA, and the result is OAA, or oxaloacetate. This is the first stable compound in the pathway. It has 4 carbons, and this is why this pathway is called the C4 cycle. You may recall that the first stable compound in the C3, or Calvin cycle, is 3 carbons. Next, the reducing agent NADPH2 comes in and reduces OAA to malic acid. Malic acid then travels to the chloroplast of the bundle sheath cell, where a decarboxylase removes the CO2. This is the plant's ultimate agenda. For now, within the chloroplasts of the bundle sheath cells, so carefully guarded from the presence of oxygen by the concentric ring of mesophyll cells surrounding them, Rubisco is flooded with basically pure CO2 with no oxygen to confuse it. The CO2 enters the Calvin cycle within the chloroplasts of the bundle sheath cells, and the C4 plant has successfully bypassed photorespiration. Pyruvic acid is the 3-carbon compound that remains after the CO2 is stripped off of malic acid. It diffuses back into the chloroplast of the mesophyll cell. Here, ATP phosphorylates it, turning it back into the original compound, PPA. And now the cycle can repeat again. Why do
G. Structures, processes, and compounds involved in photosynthesis in C4 plants. Okay, so you have to complete the table of matching each description with one letter chosen from A to N to show the correct structure, process, or compound. So basically, in sari descriptions ko beta we have to compare with the letter. So try करें बेटा इसको.
Yes, ma'am.
Enzyme with high optimum temperature. So उन्होंने हमें इसमें से बेटे कौन सा एंजाइम है?
Step carboxylase.
Okay, this one. चलो आंसर की भी तैयारी कर लेते हैं साथ साथ. Question number 7. ठीक है, so it's D. Let's just, oops, sorry. And you said D. Good. Okay, then enzyme in bundle sheath cells.
Rubisco.
Rubisco. ठीक है, let's tally. And it's E. And you said Rubisco. Process that slows down the rate of photosynthesis. So we have to look at the option. जी बेटे.
I think it might be photorespiration. J.
Okay. And it's J. Good. Okay. Next है compound that releases carbon dioxide into the bundle sheath cells.
Malate.
Malate. Okay, so you're saying F, and let's check. F. Good. Okay, last here. Cells that stop oxygen reaching the bundle sheath cells.
The mesophyll cells.
Mesophyll cells, H, and it's H. Good. Well done. 5 marks. Good. Okay. Now they're saying some plants such as rice are adapted to grow when partially submerged in water. Describe and explain the adaptations that allow rice plants to survive in waterlogged fields. अब ये 3 marks का क्वेश्चन है, तो कुछ आ रहा है मेरे ध्यान में?
मैम एक तो उसमें एरेनकाइमा टिश्यू था which allowed gases to diffuse to the submerged parts of the plant.
ठीक है, तो ये आपका फर्स्ट पॉइंट आपने बता दिया. ठीक है, ठीक है, so 3 marks, so 1 mark ये हो गया आपका. ठीक है, देन अब उसके एडेप्टेशंस के बारे में और क्या?
मैम इथेनॉल हाई वॉल्यूम पे वो टॉलरेट कर सकता था.
ओके, ठीक है, सो दैट्स सेकंड पॉइंट.
और to avoid being completely submerged, वो अपने it used to grow taller as it was more submerged in water.
ठीक है,
ताकि at least the top part would remain
good,
not
good.
submerged.
ठीक है, so any 3 from तुमने 4 points बता दिए, so very good बेटे. ठीक है, so हमारा फोटोसिंथेसिस का चैप्टर बेटे डन हो गया है.